look at another interesting subject. Why learn mathematics? This question is asked time and again, not only by children but their parents also. And one of the underlying assumptions is that mathematics as we learn in school, we never use in practice. So why learn mathematics in the first place? And furthermore, it being such boring, conceptual subject. One of the first things we'll see is that mathematics is a natural part of life and it cannot be disconnected. Learning mathematics is only a formalization of a natural process. Doesn't matter who we are, what we are doing, we are calculating every moment. We are using mathematics at every point. Our brain itself is a huge computer which keeps on computing no matter what we do. For example, in practice, if we see a bucket of water and we want to lift that bucket of water, we just don't go and lift it. On the subconscious level, the brain assesses the weight of the bucket, whether we have enough strength to lift that or how much force would be required to lift that bucket, and then we go there, we take a stance and we lift the bucket of water in the particular manner, in a particular way decided by the brain based on its hundreds of calculations. Or for that matter, when we are walking on the road and we see a puddle, we don't want to get our feet spoiled. We assess our strength, we assess the length of that puddle or width of that puddle, and then we jump across it, giving just enough spring to the body to go across. All this is mathematics. Not only that, in any case, we are assessing while playing, for example, playing table tennis, when we are serving, we throw the ball high in the sky, then wait for it to come down and keep our bat just below the ball, and at the last moment twist the bat so that the ball gets a swing and goes across. All this is a huge calculation. It has got a lot of feeling attached, but at the same time it is a hugely calculating work. Just think of it, when you started learning to play table tennis, how much conscious you were, and slowly as the brain gets used to the calculations and the complications therein, the task starts becoming easier and easier. Same example can be given of learning to drive. When you start learning to drive, on the first day you are extremely conscious because you are consciously doing all the calculations, how much to press the clutch, how to change the gear, where to change the gear, where to brake, when to leave the clutch, how much to leave the clutch, how much to accelerate, so many decisions, and all those decisions you are consciously doing. That is, you are in a way calculating consciously. But slowly as you get used to it, you start doing all these things unconsciously or subconsciously, and it becomes easier and easier. When it becomes second nature to you, you become a good enough driver. What you have done is you have inculcated a procedure so much in your psyche that it has become a second nature. And for this, learning mathematics is necessary, because as I said, we are always doing mathematics in any case. But if we learn mathematics formally, we are introduced to a natural process in a formal way, so that we can take that process, if we want, to any height that we require. unless we want to be recluse, we need mathematics, because in life none of the activities we are going to do alone. We are going to work with people, and at certain point of time we will have to explain to people what we are doing, and we would want them to do as we do, or we would want them to do as we instruct them to do. So you have a knowledge bank inside you which you want to convey to other people, which is done through communication or language. But in the first place, you need to know what your knowledge bank is and formalize it. Only after formalizing it are you in a position to convey it to the other person. Just think of it of a chef who is expert in cooking, and he wants to give his specific recipe to other people, or he wants to teach other people the specific recipe that he is making. In that case, he cannot say mix this much of this or that much of that, this is the way I do it. Even if he is doing this, the other people will take notes and they will formalize, in the sense 2 spoonfuls of this ingredient, 1 spoonful of another ingredient, then maybe 100 grams of oil, and so on and so forth. So it is a mathematical calculation, and that experiment is done at a time, place, circumstances, and then all is mixed together in a particular sequence, and that is what we call as recipe. So if a cook or if a chef wants to convey his recipe to another person, he has to formalize what he is doing into formal terms. In earlier days, in various places, different types of measures were used. One of the most popular measure was the length of the hand of the house owner. Based on that, they would make the height of the doors, height of the house, and various other categories in the place. But this, because the height of the person would be different at different places, the same house would not be suitable for another person. Also, the houses would be difficult to live in for different people at different places. So a formalization was necessary. Or for that matter, if you have to order a chair from some other place, how do you tell them what size of chair you want? That is where the formalization of measurements came in, and that is where formalization of calculations, or which we call as mathematics today, has also come in, and it is used everywhere in practice in ways more than one. In the same way, as we today we do not require to know machine language to use a machine, we have higher level languages, so that the screen of the mobile, we can look at the pictures and we can press on them and we can use those. But there is a lot of mathematics goes on behind the scene which makes that situation possible. So if you know that mathematics, not necessarily this mathematics, but any kind of mathematics, you are in a position to formalize your thoughts, you are in a position to convey your thoughts better to other people, in the sense that you got a base for becoming a better manager. You can envisage this as mathematics being one bank of the river and language being the bridge. You require the language of mathematics and language of communication to get to other people and convince them of your information, or even for conveying your information to them. We will take 2 real life examples. One example is that of a farmer from Siberia. This particular farmer was found to be having much more grey matter in his brain than that of Einstein. That means this farmer was much more intelligent than Einstein himself, but he does not have any kind of great research to his credit. Einstein was a Nobel laureate and did a great job in creating theory of relativity, which was breaking all the molds of science as they were existing then. Why not this person? Because this person never received any formal education. So there is a lot of potential or lot of intelligence. It is a huge computer, but without a start button or without a screen. So there is no way or no agency that we can get this intelligence out of that person for the humankind, and as a result of which the person has suffered because his potential has not been used, and the society also has suffered because many researches or many inventions that could have been possible with this kind of intelligence have failed to materialize. Take the other example. In a very small school, 20 households, tribal households, a teacher went there to get students for his school which was down in the village. The village school had only 5 students, out of which this particular one was one of the students. Interestingly, the teacher realized that this boy is different. He is much more intelligent than the other tribal students. So he recommended him to be taken to the taluka place and somehow managed to convince his parents. He was sent to taluka place where he learnt or where he took education till the 4th standard. But even there, the teachers realized that this student is extremely intelligent. So they sent him to the district place and even a bigger city and made arrangements for his education. The student didn't disappoint. He got very good marks at various levels and completed his post graduation. Not only that, he completed his IFS examination with flying colors and became ambassador for the country, served the country for almost 30 years in number of places as Indian ambassador, also wrote books and had a very successful career. The reason for this was not only that his talent was recognized, but it was brought to light by the teachers and he did not let them down. But just think of it, if this tribal boy had not got any formal education and had he remained over there in his small village or pada atop the mountain, what kind of achievements would be in his account? And this is where the formal education and especially education of mathematics and languages comes into play. So when you got to learn mathematics, whether you are directly going to use it or not, it will still benefit you. In certain areas, mathematics makes you think, and the thinking power also increases, or the way of thinking also changes when you have facts and figures in your hand. So if you are a genius, it will definitely show in the study of mathematics. If you are a mediocre, you still have chance to become a genius through the use of mathematics, and you are less than mediocre, then at least you will carry through your life satisfactorily at some good level if you study hard and especially study mathematics and languages for the purpose that they are designed for. So summarizing this, mathematics is used in day-to-day life, maybe not in the form that we learn in school, but in some various forms, and it is essential for us to learn mathematics at every stage and then utilize it, not only to eradicate its fear, but to utilize it for our own benefit and the benefit of the society. Namaskar.